Hello everyone, myself Professor Rekha Kingi, Department of Civil Engineering, KLS VDIT Hariyar. I welcome you all for the lecture series on Construction Management and Entrepreneurship with the subject code 18CV51. Today let's start with lecture number 4 from the module number 1. Let's have a glance on what all we have covered in the previous session. In the previous session, we had discussed the introduction part to planning, that is definition, need for planning and characteristics of planning. In the need or the importance of planning, we have discussed the planning as a basic function as it focuses on objectives, it reduces uncertainties and skills, risks, and it will have the better coordination, it will improve the operational efficiency, it will have easy implementation of change and etc. Along with that, we have discussed many of the characteristics of planning also. And later we had a discussion on different types of planning, and these types based upon various categories such as based upon scope and degree of details. The planning is being classified as strategic planning, operational planning and the tactical planning. Based upon the time duration, it is being classified as short term plan, intermediate term plan and long term plans. Based upon the frequency of use, single use plan and standing plans. And based upon specificity, the planning is being classified as specific plans, directional plans, contingency planning and scenario planning. So with this background, today let's start with the discussion on introduction to project management. What is project management, why it is required, what are the different phases of project management, and what is construction project formulation and all. In phases of project management, we are going to deal with especially the three categories, that is planning, scheduling and controlling. And in the construction project formulation, we are going to deal with majorly the conceptual design, preliminary design, detailed design, construction, testing, commissioning and handover. At the end of today's session, the student should be able to know the importance and need for the project management. What are the different phases of project management? How is the life cycle of project management? What are the different concepts involved in it? And the student will also be able to understand the concepts of project management for the planning to the execution of the projects. Now let's start with the project management. A project is a unique process which consists of a set of coordinated and controlled activities with the start and finish dates undertaken to achieve the objective. The activities are interrelated in a logical sequence and it is known as precedence relationship. An activity of a project cannot be started until all its immediate preceding activities are being completed. The project management is generally applied for constructing public utilities, large industrial projects and organizing mega events. This project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools and techniques to a broad range of activities to meet the requirements of the particular project. This project management is considered to be an important in the field of production, scheduling, mainly because of many of the industrial activities can also be viewed as a project management problems. And if we consider an example, one can recognize that there are many projects of the similar kind. They are being repeated either by the same organization or by different organizations. Though they are repeated by nature, each of the project is unique by itself. In some of the cases, Sometimes the addition of or deletion of some of the activities need to be taken care. So if a project is repeated at a different place at a different time, then a detailed planning effort is required always. Now coming on to the elements of project management. The function of project management includes defining the requirement of work, establishing the extent of work, monitoring the progress of the work and adjusting deviations from the plan. Here there are few elements of the project management which are present in this slide. And now we can start with the phases of project management. What are the different phases of project management? How does they contribute to the success of the organization? The main elements or phases of project management are planning, executing and the controlling. The project management aims to achieve the stated goals of the project leading to the completed facility by virtue of planning, executing and controlling the various resources, whether it is time, resource, fund or human or the technical resources. Here the planning essentially consists of the setting up of objectives, identifying the resources and the forming of strategy, and executing part consists of the allocation of resources, guiding the execution work, coordinating the efforts of the people and motivating the staff. Along with this, controlling part, it consists of measuring achievement goals, reporting and resolving the problems, and the planning, executing and controlling, they are performed on a continuous basis till the goals of the project are being realized or they are accomplished. Here the project management is essentially about the managing of the project from an idea through the complete project. Projects today, they are getting increasingly complicated than they have been ever, and multiple disciplines and include increasingly larger sums of money. So the basic ingredient of bringing together the ideas and successfully executing them remains, even though the new techniques in a project management are continuously being deployed. Now, if we consider the phases of project management, that is planning, scheduling and the controlling part. Each project, whether it is big or small project, it will have some objectives. That is, the project should be completed with a minimum of elapsed time. It should be available, it should use the available manpower, locally available resources as possible without any delay, and it should be completed with a minimum of capital investment without any delay. So out of the phases, that is planning, scheduling or executing and controlling, the first two phases are accomplished before the actual project starts. The third phase is operative during the execution of the project, and it aims to recognize the difficulties during the execution and to apply measures to deal with these difficulties. And the planning phase involves the following steps, that is dividing the project into distinct varieties, estimating the time requirement for each activity, establishing precedence relationship among the activities, and construction of the arrow diagram, that is network diagram. Now coming on to the construction project formulation. Life cycle of construction project will have 5 important common phases, and these are conceptual design, preliminary design, detailed design, construction and testing, commissioning and handover. Each of these phases are further they are subdivided into WPS principle, that is work breakdown structure principle, to reach a level of complexity where each element or the activity can be treated as a single unit and it can be conveniently managed. It is constructed by dividing the project into major elements, with each of these being divided into sub-elements also. Now, if we start up with the conceptual design, this conceptual design is the first phase of the construction project life cycle, and it is the design which is initiated once the need is recognized. And in this phase, the idea is conceived and it is given an initial assessment in the conceptual design phase. And during this phase, the environment surrounding environment is examined, it is being forecasted and being prepared. The objectives and the alternatives are being evaluated, and the first examination of the technical performance, cost and time objectives of the project is being made. And this phase includes the identification of need by the owner and establishment of the goals, feasibility study which is based upon again owner's objectives, what the owner requires, identification of the project team by selecting other members and allocation of the responsibilities to them, identification of the alternatives, financial implications, resources based upon estimation of life cycle cost of the favorable alternative, time schedule, land and geological survey, that is location of the project, enumeration of major problems in translating the project into reality, and the selected preferred alternative is the base for development of the concept design. And the designer must consider always the following parameters, that is project goals, usage, technical and functional capability, aesthetics, constructability, sustainability, health and safety, reliability, environmental compatibility, fire protection measures, supportability during maintenance, and cost effectiveness over the entire life cycle. So, in this phase, the points to be examined are basically come under the conceptual model and the technical educational studies. The environment project assessment is not very important for this particular phase for some of the projects, but through the study of environment project impact also it can be carried out for the construction of few of the projects like dam, nuclear power plant, etc. So, outcome of this stage is the report dealing with investigation and studies concerning the problems to be encountered and its solution. Now, coming on to the preliminary design. This preliminary design mainly consists of refinement of the elements in the conceptual design phase, and during this phase the project is planned to a level where sufficient details are available for the initial cost and schedule. This phase also includes the initial preparation of all documents which are essential for the implementation of construction project. In this case, the building construction project, the preliminary design determines the general layout of the facility, required number of buildings, different types of functional facilities, types of electromechanical services, types of landscape, etc. And here the designer has to consider the points such as concept of design deliverables, calculations to support the design, coordination with other members, authorities requirement, availability of resources, constructability, health and safety, reliability, etc. Now coming on to the detailed design. This detailed design is the third phase of the construction project life cycle, and it follows the preliminary design phase and takes into consideration the configuration and the allocated baseline which is being derived during the preliminary phase. And during this phase, all the suggested changes are being re-evaluated, and it is being ensured that the changes will not detract from meeting the project design goals and the objectives. During this phase, the outcomes, or what we can say, the final output of this design phase would be drawing of the structure, specifications of components to be employed which contain detailed description of the amenities, contract document which is a legal document describing the terms and conditions to execute the project, tender notices, qualification of the contractor, contract is awarded so that to execute the work. And for many of the projects such as industrial projects, industrial material and equipment is to be installed as to be purchased. Now coming on to the construction phase. This construction phase, this is the most important phase of civil engineering project where the major portion of the money is being invested. And we all know this phase of the project calls for maximum coordination between the various agencies concerned with the implementation of the project. So at this stage, the project manager requires maximum skills so that the project is being executed in time with efficient working. This construction usually requires large workforce and a variety of activities. The construction activities involve erection, installation and construction of any part of the project, and this construction therefore require more detailed attention of its planning, organization, monitoring and control of the project schedule, budget, quality, safety and environmental concerns. Now, during this phase of construction, the major phases of construction are mobilization, execution of the works, planning and scheduling, management of resources or the procurement, monitoring and control, quality control and inspection. Firstly, coming on to the mobilization. This mobilization, here the contractor is given a few weeks to start the construction work after the signing of the contract. The activities to be performed during the mobilization period are defined in the contract document. During this period, the contractor is required to perform many of the activities before the beginning of the actual construction work at the site. And here the necessary permits are being obtained from the relevant authorities to start the construction work. After being granted the access to the construction by the owner, the contractor starts mobilization work which consists of preparation of the site or offices for the owner, and this includes all the necessary on-site facilities and services to carry out the specific tasks. Now coming on to the execution of works. The contractor here is responsible for the construction and maintaining the works in accordance with the contract drawings, specifications and owner's requirement, as well as the documents, and the further information and the instruction is issued in accordance with the contract. Here the construction activities mainly consist of the activities such as site work, construction of foundations, construction of columns, forming, reinforcing, installation of rooming system, finishes, furnishings, etc. Now coming on to the planning and scheduling. Here the project planning is a logical process to ensure that the work of the project is carried out in an organized and structured manner. reducing the uncertainties to a minimum, reducing risk to a minimum, establishing quality standards, achieving the results within the budget and scheduled time. And here, prior to the start of the execution of project or immediately after the actual project starts, the contractor prepares the project construction plan based on the contracted time schedule of the project, and detailed planning is needed at the start of the construction to decide how to use the resources efficiently to satisfy or to achieve the specified objectives. In order to manage or control the project at different levels, the most effective manner, it is broken into number of groups of smaller sub-projects, subsystems, and then into small well-defined activities. This breakdown is necessary because of the size and complexity of construction projects and is referred to as work breakdown structure. Coming on to management of resources or the procurement. In most of the construction projects, the contractor is responsible for engaging subcontractors, specialist installers and suppliers, and arranging for materials, equipment, construction tools, etc. Here, workmanship is one of the most important factors to achieve the quality in construction. Therefore, it is required that the construction workforce be fully trained and have full knowledge of all the related activities to be performed during the construction process. Coming on to monitoring and control. Once the planning and scheduling they are complete, the project is under its way and the progress on the project must be monitored on ongoing basis so that to ensure the goals and objectives of the project which are being met. Monitoring and control of a construction project, they are necessary during the execution as well as during the construction part, and its aim is to recognize any obstacles which are being encountered during the execution and to apply measures to solve the difficulties which are being encountered. So basically this monitoring is nothing but collecting, recording and reporting information concerning any project performance related activities, and the project manager or others in the organization need to know it. Coming on to quality control and inspection. The construction project quality control process is a part of the contract document and that provides the details about specific quality practices, resources and activities which are relevant to the project. The purpose of quality control during this construction is to ensure that the work is accomplished in accordance with the requirement, and inspection of the construction works is carried out through the construction period either by the construction supervision team or by the external agency. Now coming on to the last part, that is testing, commissioning and handover. Here in this particular phase, the activities which are being involved are checking each of the component whether it is functioning according to the design or the specification or no. Check the entire system is functioning accordingly as desired, and to remove the defect if any during the construction works. And this is one of the main stage in the bigger project such as power plant, industrial plant or industrial project, dam structure, etc. And the commissioning in the large project is carried out in several stages and then the complete system is being tested. The testing of the components, they are largely or generally carried out during the construction phase, and Operational and maintenance instruction manuals, they are being prepared during the stage of testing, commissioning and handover. So with this we shall end up today's session. Thank you.